I'm hoping we've got Shaw Wu. He's an analyst over at Kaufman Brothers on the phone. So, Shaw, we broke down some of the numbers. The stock doing not too much in the after hours. What do you think of the release so far?
The numbers are absolutely stunning. The top line and the bottom line, they showed that even in a tough environment, Apple continues to deliver.
There's some interesting, Shaw, if you look at the breakdown of the products sold, both Gene Munster from Piper Jaffray and yourself had predicted that there would be a lot more iPads sold this quarter. 4.2 million iPads sold. That's even under consensus, and you guys thought that they would beat the consensus. What do you make of that? Yeah,
we'll have to see what they say on the call. There are definitely product constraints in terms of producing that.
The screens, you mean?
Yeah, that's correct. The screens, and that improved in the quarter. So we'll have to see what they say about that.
So they couldn't get hold of enough screens was the problem, right? They couldn't manufacture them quickly enough, and then that improved during the quarter.
Yeah. So the revenue guidance is promising, though. In terms of how that could do, the iPad could do, the iPhone could do in the following quarter.
Hey, Shaw, it's Julie here. One of the other areas of focus for a lot of investors, yourself included, was the gross margin in the quarter. Your estimate was 37.5%. It came in at 36.9%, which is lower than any of the estimates I saw. I mean, what accounts for that? Is it just that the costs associated with the iPad are higher, or is there something else behind that number?
Yeah, so it's a combination of that and also the iPhone 4, which is a lower margin. In the beginning, they take a little bit of a hit in terms of new products, but it improves over time as they get better at it.
I wonder what you think about the iPhone sales, because we're looking at 14 million. That's a heck of a lot of iPhones. It's well over consensus. Yeah,
so that's one of the areas that they definitely beat significantly. Consensus, I believe, was around 12 million.
That's right. 11.7 million was the estimate.
One headline, though, that's catching our attention, the company saying it has a, quote, few surprises left for the remainder of the year. I want to bring back in Shaw Wu, analyst over at Kaufman Brothers, who covers Apple. Shaw, what do you think those few surprises could be?
I think he could be alluding to the special event on this Wednesday at its headquarters. It is a Mac event, so he could be referring to that.
But what specifically? Or what would you think could be an interesting surprise from the company?
Products?
Yeah, well, there's two things. First, likely some new, basically a new MacBook Air. That's a product that hasn't been refreshed in over a year, so that makes sense to refresh. There's been strong evidence of a new form factor for that. And then the second thing is surrounding its next generation operating system. Many believe it's going to be named Lion, Mac OS X Lion. So they could give a demo of that.
Any chance we get a new and improved iPad, Shaw, before Christmas or the holiday season, I guess I should say, here in New York?
Matt really wants one.
Well, no, I mean with the front-facing camera and with everything that they left off, seemingly on purpose, with the first introduction of it.
There's been a lot of talk about that. It would be surprising if they refresh that product so soon, but you never know.
Hey, Shaw, what about the cash here? We talked a little bit about that, and this is something that's been a topic of discussions on the conference calls. I mean, do you want to know what Apple's going to do with all of it?
Yeah, so in terms of the cash, I think many shareholders have said it makes sense to pay a dividend. So we'll see if they'll talk about that. I mean, the second thing is always around always around a stock buyback. Another way to enhance shareholder value. But I think Apple, because it was a company that experienced it almost had a near-death experience. Before, I think that's why they're so cautious on cash.
But I mean, everybody seems to love Apple. Obviously, it's widely held. But do you think there comes a point where shareholders are going to put some more pressure on the company to deploy that cash and to get some of it back?
Yeah, I mean, I actually get that question a lot, and I'm sure the company does as well. We'll see. I mean, there is a point where it makes a lot of sense to do that, and I think given where the cash is right now, I think that we're definitely getting closer.
I just wanted to quickly ask, you said you were concerned about cannibalization. We didn't see it that much in this quarter, but do you see it going forward, meaning that people at the lower end of the laptop spectrum buy the iPad instead, and because of that they sell fewer laptops? Or is the same possible with iPhones over iPods?
Yeah, there is some evidence of some degree of cannibalization, but you're right. Clearly, this quarter didn't happen. The Mac business was actually one of the surprises this quarter on the upside. That's one thing that Apple does really well is managing the different product sets with different product price points.
All right, we got to run. Hey, Shaw, thank you so much. Shaw Wu of Kaufman Brothers.